Hello again, everyone. Hope you are well on this Wednesday afternoon. Warmed up a little bit today. Sun's out, but although it's kind of windy, so about, mid 50s right now. Brace yourselves for what is coming and what is already going on, y'all, for 2026 and even before that. I'm going to go into it economically and other ways. I want to talk about ways we can possibly hedge that, and have a little bit of a leg up, so to speak. Also, Trump made a speech last night on the economy. I'll go into that. Maybe what that means for us. The Fed cut the interest rate again today, is what they announced today. What does that mean for us? Again, brace yourself. Brace yourself. I also have good news, of course. I have a terrific passage I'm going to share with you towards the end of the video. First, what do I go to? Oh yeah, the Trump speech last night. I forget where it was, but I just saw that it was on the economy, so it was running live on some channels, and we started watching it. And I tell you the truth, y'all, I'm going to be honest. After about 10, 15 minutes, I kind of was zoning out a little bit. I mean, I kept it on, but, and to be fair, okay, and just, it may not matter who's president right now. Going through what we did the last 4 years before this, it's a tremendous challenge, of course. But with that said, okay, it was supposed to be on the economy, and I couldn't really give you a really good summary of what he talked about. It was kind of campaigning again, and I believe they're probably rightly so concerned about, I think, the midterms of 2026. I mean, the alarm bells are finally ringing in their camp, I believe. And they're like, oh boy. Uh-oh. Yeah, uh-oh. But anyway, going back to the speech, the way I look at it, this is my summary of it. This is the way I look at it. This is the way I'm looking at it, y'all. Bottom lining it now. It all, for Joe and Jane, Dog, regular people, it comes down to cost of living, man. It comes down to the cost of groceries and gas, utilities, insurance, your medical, taxes. If there's no change, if there's no, and wages aren't keeping up, but if they were raising, going up right along with it, that'd be something different. But there's an imbalance, and it's widening. So it all comes down to cost of living and your ability to keep pace. And if that doesn't get better, it don't matter what anyone says. It don't matter. At the end of the day, we're looking at our receipts. I was helping a client out, semi-independent living skills, and I was helping him out with a budget, and we were looking at receipts and such, and he was in shock. At least I give him credit for recognizing it. He buys his groceries at Wal-Mart, and he buys pretty much the same stuff, just like most of us. But he said he was in shock. Couldn't believe the increase in beef, his meat, and what was the other? Soda. He said, I buy a 24-pack of soda because it's just at the cans. It's cheaper typically. He said, and I could not, when they told me the total amount, I couldn't believe it. I started looking at the receipt. And just in the last couple of weeks, it's gone up, way up. And I'm like, all I said was, yeah, you got to, it's good that we're looking at this, make a habit of looking at this. We're looking at this budget, and I said two big things that are really going up. I mean, a lot of things are going up, as you see here, but soda and meat, especially beef. He bought some chicken too, and it's gone up, but not nearly as much. But the man was getting a bit of a shock there. He was like, "I can't believe this." I'm like, "It's real, buddy." So we were looking at things he might be able to cut back on, and such as that. A budget, but more on that in a minute, as far as all of us, really. But, and that's what it comes down for me. And Ms. Dog was like that. Ms. Dog was like, I thought this was about the economy. Now, I know there's a lot of talk about, again, it just comes down to cost of living, y'all. For the majority of us, right? Now, there's a lot of talk about the data centers being built, and they're going to continue building them for a while. And while there's, all kind of things going on about that, it is creating a lot of jobs like electrician, construction, welders, HVAC, maybe some IT, technical. And these are paying very well. My concern is for how long, who's getting these jobs as well, right? That's my concern. Electricians, I could see, electricians, maybe welders, HVAC. Gosh, if you want to get into a field and make some money, you don't mind doing the physical work, you can do that. You're young, whatever. Man, that's a good one to get into. And by the way, what are we doing with drilling? Are we drilling and fracking? I can remember some years back before this before the Biden administration, there was like a boom in, what was it, North Dakota? You would hear about like people that can drive water trucks making six figures, and the fracking and the oil and all that. I mean, I don't ever hear about that. Maybe I'm missing it. Please fill it in. Please tell me if you know. I mean, are you in that industry? Fill us in the comments. Is it not going on? Is it just not getting started? It can't get started. Whatever. Let me know. But what's the deal with drilling and fracking? Drill, baby, drill. Okay. I mean, I hope it's coming back. I really do. Gasoline, I know here it's up and down. 1 week it's $2.40 something, and the next week it's right up almost dang $3 again. So, but the cost of living right now, I believe for the majority of people, the cost of living, the way it's rising, is not sustainable. It is not sustainable. It might be sustainable for the top 10%, but the rest of us, no. Saw somebody put a short video about it, making $75,000 annually is not enough. You're not even hardly considered middle class anymore. I mean, think about that for a moment. Really? I mean, think about that. When you think about rent, food, insurance, automobile, or transportation, utilities, insurance, cell phone, medical care, taxes, again, we're pretty heavily taxed. And then a lot of them will say, well, work harder, get a second job, get a third job. Well, you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to. You work in full time, y'all. We're human beings. We shouldn't, you shouldn't have to necessarily. Now, if you just want to, go. But go for it. But you shouldn't have to, because you just got to try to pay rent and feed yourself. Now, if you want to get a second job for saving up something special, go for it. I've done it before. But just to keep your head above the water, the second and third job for that? No, I don't. That's awful. It's horrible. Well, work harder. Man, I'm working hard, dude. What are you doing? Fed cut. The Fed cut the rate again, 25 basis points, lowered the interest rates. Now, what this will probably do is it'll flush more cash in the system. More loans, people get approved for more loans, What does that do? I mean, it will, maybe not right away, but it will make the cost of things go up even more. If you can just imagine that, prices will go up. That's just the way it works, y'all. They said they're cutting the rate. This follows the same size rate cut in September and October. It's the third time they're doing it. They're saying due to uncertainty over the labor market and inflation. Yeah. Inflation's trending higher. Labor market's in the toilet overall. Certain industries, like I said earlier, are fine, and healthcare. Tariff-related price hikes filtering through the economy. Brace yourself, y'all. Brace yourselves. So, you know, not just, like I said, not just for 2026, but for even before it. I saw where silver, $62. Up to $62.25 is when I looked at it before I started recording the video. Think about it, y'all. Hey, if you got the means to do some gold, go for it. But for most of us, silver is probably a more, attainable thing. But I think it's a really good idea to have it. And I'm not pushing. I have no affiliation with any of them that sell it. I'm not benefiting from saying that. I just say it because I think it's a good idea. I think it's a really good hedge right now. Look at your budget. What can you cut? Is there an expense that you're paying? Things that's coming. Look at what's going out of your bank account monthly. At every line item, some things that you're not using, things that are just coming out automatically. What can you cut? If you really look at it, there's usually something that you're just not using. Or you did it one time and you just don't think about it. It's still coming out of your bank account or flowing out of your auto pay or whatever. What can you reduce in your budget? What can you reduce in your expenses? Pay down what debt you can. I know several of y'all have been commenting, I got debt and I'm trying to work at it. Dog, it's hard. I get it. We are there with you. Even if you can make a chip away at it and make progress, it does help, because the less you have of that debt, the less that's a burden on your monthly expenses, and every little bit does count. It makes a difference. So keep working at it. Stick with a plan. You go to the store, have a list, stick to the list. We do that. Ms. Dog and I I've said this before or similar, is that we're right at a full stop on eating out, y'all. I mean, not full 100%, maybe like 99, 98% stop on that stuff, y'all. Because when you look at your expenses over a month, your bank account, man, you add that up, it's horrifying. It just accumulates so much. Watch every dollar, or watch them, look at your receipts. Make sure you're not getting overcharged for stuff. It happens. I think it happens on purpose. They just count on people not paying attention. I think it happens. I think it happens in a lot of places, unfortunately. What can you cut? What can you cut back on? What can you do, to do a hedge? Think about precious metals. Think about some things you can do to save something here or there. Makes a difference. Share your thoughts. Share your hacks, your advice. There's always a lot of good advice in the comments. I'm just concerned about this rate cut. It's going to lead to things just costing even more. So I'm going to go to a passage. I am in Where am I? Colossians. I'm in Colossians chapter 2, verse 8. See to it that there is no one who takes you captive through philosophy and empty deception in accordance with human tradition, in accordance with the elementary principles of the world, rather than the accordance with Christ. Christ first, y'all. There's a lot of worldly, earthly things that are just floating around, and this is what we need to do, and this is, this is important, most important thing. This is how, where you should put all your time in and everything. No. Let's keep our priorities straight. Let's keep in prayer. Let's stay close to Jesus. That's number one. All right. Hope that makes sense. Again, share your thoughts. Be safe. Be alert. Be alert out there when you go out. Always. Stay close to Jesus. God bless you. I'll see you soon.